I'm Danny, and this is the Scream Princess podcast. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Scream Princess podcast. And today I am joined by my very good friend, Joshua Kennedy, director extraordinaire, musical star, actor. He does it all and he's been doing it all since he was very, very young. So how are
Hello,
you?
Danny. Hi.
Hello.
Long time no see.
I know. And he's all the way in Texas.
Yes.
So far, you are my furthest away guest.
Ah.
We have another one tomorrow, though, that is in the States.
But where is he in the States?
I'm not totally sure. I've got Dacre Stoker on tomorrow. Who's,
Oh, fabulous.
yes, I'm not sure. I want to say Maine, but that's probably wrong.
Maine.
I'm
He
not
seems like he
sure.
could be
So my girl
northeast.
kitten is being an absolute demon right now. She's usually very, very calm, but she's just been going absolutely mental. Now she's about to climb a curtain. So if you hear weird noises, can you
It's
hear
the
it? It's
I
the
can't
cat.
hear it all. No, I don't hear anything.
The boy one's being good. He's asleep in the other room, but the girl one is being dramatic.
She wants to be on camera. It's all right.
She does. She does. So, Josh,
Danny.
I feel like
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
she's
Okay.
literally at the top of the curtain. She'll come back down on her own. Honestly, she goes from like 0 to 100 in like seconds, and then she'll just sit up there and she'll look at you.
And chill
Like,
out for like another 20 minutes. Yeah,
like, what can you achieve? She's coming back down now.
it's great because you just see the curtain moving. So
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like Josh is a little bit like me, where do you feel like you've been born into the very wrong decade?
I have come to peace with I used to think that for a long time, but I've come to peace. Oh, look at the kid. She's crazy. I've come to peace with I don't know how you feel about this. Because we love, old movies and horror
Yeah.
films and stuff, and it's almost like this is the perfect generation to be that type of fan because I'm sure like back in the day when these movies were coming out, I'm talking like the Hammer films and the Universal monster movies. When back in the day when they came out, you just saw them at the theater and then they just vanished. Like that's such
Yeah.
a weird concept. I almost can't even imagine not having them available if they're on VHS or on DVD or something. So I've made peace with it. It's like no, I'm in the right time because I can watch them over and over again. If
So
we lived
watching them as a fan, but making films, I mean, you're making films very much in the kind of styles and very experimental, but in the styles of films that you've loved, which we'll come to talk about all of those. But
yes, yes, yes.
but they're kind of not of the time. You'll say you're like in the past, but modern.
Yes, yes, definitely. They definitely have a vintage flavor, and
Mm. I like your background, by the way.
oh, I
I
know.
nearly dug out the bikini, but I don't think I'm going to fit into that right now.
You still have it? I thought that was taken
No, I've
apart.
kept that one. I think that's because I get rid of most of my things just because I don't have anywhere to store stuff. Like if I kept every costume and
Yes.
every prop and every script, I would have like cupboards full of scripts and I just wouldn't have anywhere to put it. I don't live in a mansion. So I tend to like keep them for a little while and then I'll be like, oh, I'll just pop it on eBay because somebody can then make use of it. Somebody might like, really like to read the script or really want that costume. So I do tend to put them on there, but I've kept this one, and it is one of the only ones. I sold the pink one.
Oh, did you?
I did, but I kept this one. So this was the one where you'd ordered a brown bikini to arrive, and it hadn't arrived in time, but I had one
Yeah.
in my bag. So that bikini is actually the bikini I wore when I came second in the Miss British Isles pageant many
No way.
I
I didn't
did
know that.
many, many years ago. It's the same bikini that I wore in the competition. So they had like a bikini round and then a round where you wore gowns.
Sure.
And then obviously we got the fake fur. We went to the most amazing fabric shop in Texas. It was incredible. And then
Yes,
we got the
Joanne.
fake fur. And then we just basically were sat in the kitchen with a needle and thread, just concocting this costume.
I had forgotten that the other bikini didn't make it, and I think like the week after you left, it came in. I'm
No,
like, oh yeah,
it came. It came and you gave it to me, and I still do wear it. because it was a really nice shaped bikini. It was a bit of like 50s style. Had like the
But it came like it was
high
too
waisted
late, right? It
pants.
was
It was
like the
too
day
late
it
for the
left.
filming, but it arrived before the end of the filming.
Interesting. Oh my God. Well, you got to find a picture of you wearing it in the British Isles. Then that's hilarious.
I have got pictures. I must have been about 21.
Wow.
I must
I
have
didn't know. I didn't
even
know. So,
20 even. I could even have been 19, 20. It's a long time ago.
wow. Oh well. So you can't sell that on eBay. There's too much
No.
history with
That's
it.
actually a vintage bikini. It's vintage if it's over 20 years old, isn't it? And it
That's
kind of
true.
is. So I don't
Hey.
think of things being from the 2000s as vintage, but they do say in vintage shops when you go vintage shopping for clothes, if it's from like anywhere like from the 90s, and that I think I heard that 10 years ago, so I guess now the 2000s are vintage.
Oh, what's
I
happening?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So when did you first start making films, and what was your inspiration? Because I know that you like made films when you were very young.
Yes. The first, if we can go back to I was 5 years old, and I had taken my family's little video camera that we shot vacations when we go to the beach or go out of town or something, and go to the Alamo. And I was five, and my movie was It Came from the Bathroom, which was about this monster that came out of the toilet and attacked all of my little toy soldiers. Like I had the little basically the soldiers from like Toy Story, like the little green things, and like so
Right.
this rubber ball came out of the toilet, and that was my monster and would roll over these little toy soldiers. But it came from the bathroom, and already then I was referencing Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and Vincent Price and Ray
That's
Harryhausen.
crazy that you knew who they were when you were 5 years old.
I know. Well, that's the marker. Like I was like, okay, I'm making the movie at five. That means I've already have seen these movies prior to that
Yeah.
to
So
put
who
it
was
in.
the fan? Was it your mom or your dad?
Mom was the bigger fan. Dad definitely was a fan as well. Dad introduced me to like the big epics like Ten
Right.
Commandments and Ben-Hur and
Mhm.
but mom was more of the horror queen and still is, and taught me at a very young age that anytime Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee or Vincent Price came up, their name came up on the title, you're supposed to clap when they came on the
How
screen.
are you?
The what?
Do you
What'd
still
you say?
do that?
Absolutely. It's like, oh yeah, Peter Cushing, yeah, yeah.
You know
Michael
what? I've
Gough,
just
yeah.
been bought. I've just been bought the Vincent Price cooking show on Blu-ray.
The cooking show. What?
Yeah, price is price wise. Vincent Price. When we go to part two, I will go
Yes.
and get it in between so you can have a look at it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
What?
I was New Year's Eve, we went shopping. And I have had a quiet few months, so I didn't buy anything. We were just going out for lunch, really. But he had like a medical thing, and so
Uh,
I was shopping. He's like, "Did you see anything?" And I was like, "Oh, I did, but I'm not spending money until I'm earning again." And then he bought me that, and he bought me a Wizard of Oz doormat, which was nice.
okay, but it's a cooking show. It's a
It's a
Vincent Price.
cooking show, and I think there is a book. And
Yes,
I looked on Amazon because you know when you go into a shop and you're like, well, it's probably cheaper on Amazon, so don't buy it yet. Let's wait and see. And
sure.
then it wasn't cheaper on Amazon, it was actually cheaper in HMV. But there is a book. So yeah. But apparently there's like cucumber monsters and souffle. I mean, I
But
probably
it's a
won't be
show.
able.
Like he's hosting a show.
Yeah,
Oh,
apparently it
I
was to
never
stop
even heard of
70s
this.
housewives from being bored. I will like when we break for half time,
Yes,
I'll go
yes,
and get it and then I can read you the blurb on the back.
absolutely. Oh my God, cool. What a find.
I can't believe you didn't know about that. Like I know a
I
thing that you didn't know about Vincent Price.
Well, and it's lovely when those little nuggets happen when it's like, hey,
Yeah.
have you seen this? I was like, never even heard of this movie. And usually, I
Mind
mean,
blown. Well, somebody on Facebook had gotten a copy, I think, and I'd seen it before, like recently.
oh,
And then so it must have been like lost or something, and then it's I don't know, resurfaced.
right,
And
yeah.
yeah, and then we saw it in the shop. So
Wow, cool.
mhm.
I have to get a copy.
I feel like because I'm actually going to be starting up my vegan vamp again as like another kind of thing to do. Just going
Oh,
to be
good,
cooking with
good,
my
good.
eating. So I might actually do something from that for one of my episodes.
Hey, that'd be fun.
See what I can come up with. I can probably make a cucumber monster.
Cucumber monster.
I could probably manage that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. What a find. What a find.
So you still have as well. So your first film, you've still got like the artwork and stuff in your studio, haven't you?
I do. Well, there's a poster that I had drawn
Yeah.
out. It came from the bathroom. And yeah, that's up on the wall. It might have been. I think you might have seen it.
Yeah, I did.
Um,
That's how I knew it was there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have. I found like a prop that I had made, and that's framed on the wall. So yeah, it came from the bathroom. The cinematic genius of 5 years old.
That's amazing. Do you know what you shot it on?
It was camera on VHS tapes, but it was like those little VHS tapes. I don't know if you remember those. I mean, it wasn't the
Yeah.
big ones. It was like the mini VHS tapes.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
We never had a camera. We never had a video camera like in the family. But I think like when we'd go and see friends and stuff, they sometimes people had them. So I do remember. I feel like one of my uncles in Canada might have had one and filmed some bits over the summers.
So when did for you? When did I mean acting? Like, so you never like acted as a kid and never made your own little.
No, no, I didn't. And I never got to be in a school play because I did ballet. And anyone who did ballet, basically, when it came to school plays, you were automatically you had to be a dancer. So I've been a dancing color orange from the rainbow. I was a dancing star. I was a dancing mouse. Out, do you know Beatrix Potter with like the big Victorian dress and
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
masks made out of paper mache balloon masks, really, but they were mice. And I think it was, I don't know, it was a school play, and we'd come out of the factory at night time and we were all dancing. So I never got to be in a school play. The only time I ever did a school play was when one girl got sick and I was in like the recorder group or something. So I kind of had seen the rehearsals and I'd learnt the lines. Well, I knew the lines. So I ended up just getting roped in last minute. But
And how old were you?
that must have been when I was in class six. So that would have been 10.
So, but you were doing ballet, so you were used to being in front of an audience.
Well, yeah, but ballet is different to acting. Like I wouldn't get up on stage now and do theatre because I think it's
No.
terrifying. I think it's such a different discipline. I think with film, you've got that kind of safety net, haven't you? Like if you fuck it up, you can do it again. But if
Yes.
you're on stage, I know there's I know you love it, don't you? But it's the adrenaline, like if you mess something up, nobody knows you've messed it up if you just can carry on and make it work and make it fun. But I feel like I
Yes.
just have pure panic and forget the whole of the rest of it. Like I don't think I
Wow.
function like that. I like the safety net of camera.
Film. Well, then you get to do it again if you mess up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So, in terms of like, but you think ballet is different? Don't you think that that's the same thing
I
though?
think dancing's different. I think dancing's not as scary on stage as acting. Because you just have to remember your steps and I think they kind of come automatically, I think, once you've but
The
I mean I
muscle
haven't done it for a long
memory.
time. It was a long, long time ago. And I think my next foray into dancing on stage after the school plays and the ballet shows um was as a showgirl for one summer season in a place called Great Yarmouth, which is like I don't really know how to describe it to you. It's like a very downtrodden seaside town, and they had
Okay.
a big show. They had a drag queen and dancers, and myself and my friend we were strippers at the time, and we got asked to
Is
go
this
and
Miss Rain, Miss
yes,
but
yes,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, Miss Black Rain. She's changed
Miss
her
Black
name
Rain.
now to November Rain. Um,
November Rain.
to
Ooh.
November Rain. But yeah, so she actually got asked, and then she said, "Do you want to do it too? They need two." And I said yes. And we weren't actually meant to really dance. We were just meant to be like these like showgirls with the big feathers and the the beaded bras,
Sure, sure.
walking down and walking back up. And then the choreographer was like, "Can you two dance? Can you be choreographed? Because we need some extra dancers." So we ended up putting the can and like a few of the numbers, which we managed. But
Cool.
again, that was a long, long time ago. And I don't think I was even, I must have been about 18 or 19.
And then from stage to here I am interviewing you, but I'm
Yeah,
actually
I
curious.
know. The
But from
tables are turned.
but from that to because you never thought of doing film acting? That never like
No, no, because I came from a place that was, in all fairness, it's only 2 hours from London. I came from a place called Norwich.
okay.
So it's only 2 hours from London. But that seems far. Like I know in like Texan terms, 2 hours is like you could drive 2 hours to go to a corner shop, right? But
Exactly.
in
Yes.
our terms, 2 hours is a very long way. And so no, and it's not the kind of thing that you'd know how to get into. Like they didn't really have performing arts schools and things like that until until you went to London. So I
Mm.
didn't. I ended up studying all kinds of different things, didn't know what I wanted to do. I've Part of me still wishes I'd gone into archaeology. That's the thing I should have done. That's what I
Indiana
should have done.
Jane could have
Yeah,
been.
I should have done, but no, I ended up studying beauty and then I studied fashion and then I started dancing and then modeling like from the
And then,
dancing and
yeah,
then like from modeling I was in London a lot and then I kind of sort of found my way like I ended up moving to London and then I ended up going to a drama school, but that was all kind of much later.
gotcha.
Yeah. So
Well,
how
there's, I mean,
is it, what's your like training in the
just picking it up and doing it myself. No, I think for any filmmakers listening to this, it's like just get out there and pick up a camera and start doing it. That's what I always say. But for me, it was since we didn't really have a film program in middle school, I just slowly rotated towards the theater
Mhm.
department because those were where the artistic, people went.
Yeah.
And then high school, luckily, we had a film program run by Miss Susan Smith, and that was such an eye-opening thing because she, taught me how to use a tripod. What a
Mhm.
shocking idea! All of my kid films is me holding the camera with my hand, but just simple stuff like that. And she was fantastic and super supportive, and would let me come in after school and edit. You know, she
Mm.
would basically take time out of her day to just let me edit on her computers in the classroom and just let me, go
Okay.
crazy. So that was wonderful. And then high school, yeah, that and Mr. Green and Mr. Morales, theater directors, and my theater director, Mr. Green, high school, said, "Josh, why don't you direct a show in the summer?" I'm like, "Oh, snap!" So that was really my first awareness because all of my little movies with my friends beforehand were just let's get friends together and shoot something in the garage or in the backyard or
But we
whatever.
still
And
did that with Saturnalia.
well, yes.
I always, when people ask me what's the most fun I've had on a movie set, I always say it's like that. Like we shot like Saturnalia and Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls like simultaneously. We were like doing a scene for one and then a scene for another because it depended on location. But like 1 minute I'm like in the garage, like climbing through these invisible laser lines, and
Lasers,
the
yes.
next minute I'm riding a pterodactyl. I'm like, who gets to ride a pterodactyl? And it was so much like when you're a child and you play. It was like playing because it's like, well, here's a chair. That is your pterodactyl. Now sit on
Make
it
it happen.
and like lasso it was so much fun. Like I loved it, and it's still the most fun I've had, and I've done a lot of films since. It's
Oh,
the most fun I've had doing them because it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like if anyone was watching you from your
yes.
outside, like imagine someone's peeking through the window in your garage. I don't know why I said
Yes.
it American there. Garage.
Garage. Yeah, yeah.
Garage.
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 It's so
Yeah.
well. I'm touched because I think of that. That was such a wonderful. If that was a week or 5 days, that was so.
It was a week, but it was like we had a day off.
Yes.
We weren't working really long days.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Like
such a
we
fun week.
And it was before Christmas. It was early December. I flew out on December the 11th, and this was 2018 because it was just before COVID, wasn't it?
Was it 18 or 2019?
Well, when was COVID?
2020, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, so 2019 then.
It was right, yeah, 2019, and then
It
right
was
things
it was
started
literally
going.
right before, and it was like,
Yes,
yeah, and then because I was supposed to come back the next year, and then we couldn't, and it was like, and then the next year we
that's
couldn't. I
right.
finally have, but we made up for it by
Yes. Oh,
shooting
yes.
8 films and
That's so
which was
true. It's funny. I
absolutely.
just have to change the comments. You're the interviewer. Sorry. Go on. Go on.
It's okay. We can. I'm okay with going off topic and talking about whatever is random. So
Well,
I'm.
it's not random because it's connected. I've
Oh,
just
okay.
watched. I think I told you Saturnalia for the first time in a while
Yes,
with my buddy. I'm like, you know what? This is actually a kind of great little movie. I'm kind of
it's
proud of that one.
super fun, and I think it's available on Prime.
It is on Prime.
It is on
Yes.
Prime. So if you want to catch it, it's on Prime. Which of your other films are on Prime?
The Saturnalia is on there, and you can get the DVD on. I think it's on Amazon too, or
Okay.
oldies.com. The In Smith School for Girls is also on Prime, and then I think Cowgirls is still on.
Um,
Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls on Amazon Prime.
amazing. So much fun. So that is actually the title. No, it's not the title that I'd heard of. So Joshua came to London for a premiere of his film House of the Gorgon.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
I kind of saw that and I was like, who is this guy? He's like super young. I mean, you must have been like 24. I mean, are you
yes.
even 30 yet?
I'm 30
Are
now.
you? Okay,
Yeah.
finally.
Now
Finally.
finally happened.
Yeah, he must have been like 24 or something. He's like, he's made this film, but in the style of like an old Hammer horror movie. He's got some of the old Hammer horror actresses in it. So he had Martine Brezek, Caroline Munro, and who else did you
Veronica
get?
Carlson.
Veronica Carlson. And I loved her actually in it because her character was really strong.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I really liked her in it. But I was just like, he's got together these like legends and he's shot this movie that is so atmospheric and super fun. And I didn't get to talk to you because like every time I looked over in like the little after bit when people have drinks or whatever, or before even, you were always busy. So I kind of sent him a message and I was like, I came to see your film. And then I saw he was doing this film called Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls, and I was like, that is an incredible title. He was like, well, funnily enough,
Funnily enough, we're going to be adding some new scenes to
yeah, I
that.
have an idea. So he'd asked me to come and do Saturnalia,
Yes, yes, yes.
and then we shot extra scenes for Cowgirls, and then we shot some scenes for Mantipus, but then
Yes.
everything changed. So the Mantipus film was originally set in the 70s and then it moved into the 50s. Is that right?
So the Mantipus was originally going to be, yeah, late 70s, 80s, and it was going to be a total slasher movie.
Hmm.
Like fucking, oh, excuse me, sorry.
It's
Friggin'
okay, I swore too.
friggin'
I didn't usually either.
Nightmare on Elm Street, like a Halloween 5 type, very slashery, you know. Um, and then we filmed your scenes, and some of the scenes didn't come back from the lab. It was
No,
almost like,
because you shot it on a special old camera where you
yes,
actually have film.
first time we were shooting on 16 millimeter
Yeah.
film, vintage camera, which is so cool. And yeah, I remember you were like losing your mind. You're like, oh,
I
I got this
know. I was just
movie.
like, I feel like I'm in an old school movie because it's not something that people really get to do now. That's like super
Yeah,
rare for somebody to make a film that way because it costs a lot of money and you don't
oh,
know what you're getting until it comes back from the lab. You can't just like check the back of the camera to see,
yes.
see your shots. So yeah, it's time consuming, it's costly, but it's incredible.
Oh, I'm yeah, and then so we got the footage back, and your stuff looked great. And then I realized, and then COVID hit, and we couldn't. Hello,
Yeah, did
what's
you?
her name? What's their name?
This is Magic.
Hi, Magic. Aw, a
The other
cuddler.
one's Midnight, but he's being shy.
Magic and Midnight. So COVID hits, and then I'm just stuck with doing nothing. So I just kept watching the footage over and over again. I was like, this movie really should be, and I'm rewriting the script, making it better. I was like, this movie really should be in the 50s,
Yes.
like an old-fashioned 50s movie. So I had to send you the sad email of like, okay, you're not going to be in
Yeah.
Mantipas, and then
Yeah, so I couldn't be in it because obviously we couldn't fly out there because
yes,
COVID. And then it took so long, I still ended up being in it.
we had a whole full circle moment where
Yeah, it was like, sorry, we're gonna have to take you out of this film. And I was like, it's okay, I understand. You need to get your movie made. And then I flew back last year. So was it April? March or April?
March, April, yeah, yeah,
It
spring
was,
break,
yeah, it was weird because I was buying this place. And
yes.
I was living in Scotland and I had a film. I think I came out to you, came back, went down to the south coast of England and then for another film and then like came straight back here. So I didn't even ever go back to Scotland. Like I just kind of went,
Yeah, was there was something you were zigzagging beforehand too. I don't know, maybe that was before or because you
yeah,
were
well,
like bed hopping.
probably.
You
No,
were
I
couch
feel like I did
hopping.
do something before. It was quite a busy year. Like I've
Yeah.
got nothing booked in for this year, but last year, the beginning of the year was very busy. And then the last part of the year, I just did one thing, I think, for Video Shop Tales of Terror, but I was busy moving last year.
Yeah, you got a lot on your plate last year.
I did, but yeah, so I flew back out, and it was like how it's been a long running joke between us for a long time. Like, well, we made like not all the whole films, but my scenes for the films in like
Yes,
the week last time, and it was basically three films if you included Mantipus. And we are like, we
yes.
can do better than that. We were like four, five, and then it got to 10, and we didn't quite manage the 10 because it was just
Oh,
a lot.
it was too much. We should have
It was
done three. I think three or like two. Two is good.
two was good, yeah. I
Two
bet
is solid.
we've got scenes for eight, which is probably your body of work now for the next 10 years.
That's my next filmography exactly. It's just like,
Yeah,
oh, we always have that, and it's comforting though. I was just telling Jules, freaking Julian, he's my right hand man.
yeah,
Um, I was like, it's so comforting to know that we always have that footage, like that's just ready to go when we,
yeah. And do you know what
hit
I love
the
about it? If this could be released in 10 years, and I'm going to look really young.
It'll
They'll be
be
like,
the
how did she do that?
oh, she looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll look at those footage clips again, and I'm like, yeah, this it's solid. They're waiting for the
So what
right
are you
time.
working on at the moment?
So right
Manifest is
again,
finished, right?
Mantipus is finished. We were supposed to premiere it in November, and then we had a mix-up with the file at the theater.
Oh,
And literally the day of the premiere, I had to message everyone, okay, the file's not working.
oh
We have to
no.
cancel. So we postponed it, and I was just so excited to be done with it because that's taken me, 5 years,
Yeah.
four and a
A
half
long
years.
time, but it's like practical effects, and it's like
Yes.
there's
Well,
this
and it's
incredible mantipus mask.
yes. Um, and I don't want to give anything away, but your scene is like dynamite. You're a little, I don't want to
Amazing.
give anything away, but I'm very proud of it.
I loved like the wig. So they had me in like a proper Marilyn Monroe, like blonde. I was like, this is so much fun. Like,
Yes.
and then that we took that picture with just the sheet. Did we?
Picture
Do
with the
I have a
sheet.
red sheet? I'm sure it's on my Instagram.
Oh, you're in bed with
Yes.
the blankets, the red blankets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, you're playing Karen Hamilton, the
Karen
Marilyn Monroe
Hamilton.
bombshell,
Why did we name him Karen Hamilton? There was a
because
reason.
we needed like the most bitchy name, and you said because Margaret Hamilton,
Oh, yes, for the Wicked Witch of the West.
and so it was Hamilton, and then
And Karen, because
Karen, which is just
Karen.
oh Karen.
I've actually got a cousin called Karen, so I can't make fun of Karens.
Oh, we love Karens.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Wicked Witch, did you see Wicked? You're
No, I didn't. And
not crazy about it?
I didn't like the book. So for
Okay,
me, Oz is like the Frank Baum, like,
sure, yes,
the books that he wrote. And there's so many of them. And I know
yes.
I think the Wizard of Oz is based on the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and then there's a Marvelous Land of Oz, which I think the Return to Oz may be slightly
Return to
based on.
Oz,
The
yes.
characters come from them, like the Moose Man and the like
TikTok and
pumpkin head and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, Wicked was the book's very dark, and I read it when the book first came out, and I bought this beautiful copy. It was black bound, and the pages were like metallic green on the edges of the pages.
nice.
And it was a beautiful and the it was like a picture of the witch embossed in green on the front. It was a lovely looking book, and I read it, and it was just very dark, and I just didn't really like it. And then
Yeah,
obviously they did this stage show, which isn't as dark, but I
sure.
didn't really like it. I nearly fell asleep watching it in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, and I love
That's
a
so
musical, but I think other than the couple of songs that were good, I didn't think it had a lot else. But I've seen clips of it, and it does look very good. And they've both got great voices, so I imagine it's probably good. But I just don't really fancy it. For me, Wicked isn't in the real Oz world. It's like a
sure.
fantasy
It's not
world.
canon.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I mean, you being such a big Wizard of Oz fan, I
I
think you
know. I'll watch it when it's like, I'm not going to go to the cinema to see it.
when it's
Um,
on a plane.
Yeah, I'll watch it when it's on a plane, or I'll watch it at some point. I will watch it definitely. And my friend actually, Miss Blackbrain, she sent me a lovely cushion that says Defy Gravity.
Oh,
She did. But we are almost out of time for the first half, so I'm
oh
going
my
to.
God.
I know. I feel like this could be like a 7 hour podcast because we could just keep
Yeah,
chatting.
we haven't even scratched the
I
surface.
know, but I will be back in just a moment, and I'm going to bring that Blu-ray so I can tell you what it's
Oh
like.
yes, cool. All right, I'll be here.
Welcome back to the Scream Princess podcast.
Welcome back. And I actually fed the kittens in the meantime because she was going absolutely bonkers, and I feel like that's probably what she wanted. So she's
That's
really naughty.
fine.
Like in the morning, they sleep in bed all night, and then in the morning she starts trying to like get things that were like hanging on the wall just because that will get me up and I'll go and feed her.
So it's just her attention, her dinner
Yeah.
bell, basically.
Yeah, she either tries to attack my plant, which she doesn't attack at any other time. It's just literally to say, "Come on, feed."
Aw.
But here is said Blu-ray.
What the?
In price-wise. So that's what it says. Um, I mean, I can open it up because I can't see. It says you don't need to be a master chef to join cinema's master of terror. It's a brilliantly bizarre crash course in the very 1970s cookery. Um, it's covered up by labels. I'm just trying to read a little bit of it here for you.
Sure, sure.
The six-part television series, a labor of love designed to get bored British housewives serving up something a little different.
Wow.
From melon monsters to crocodile cucumbers, not forgetting the perfect souffle, the marvelous Mr. Price is your genial and garrulous host amid the paisley patterned saucepans as he demonstrates favorite recipes from around the world in a fantastic, long sought after, full fat celebrity cookery show like unlike any other.
Oh my God, I need to get this.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea. Is
I
it
think
region two?
it's
Not that it matters. I have a region free player. At the
um
bottom, region B. It's usually on the back.
Blu-ray. It's just Blu-ray, it's Blu-ray for everything.
No, but like sometimes it's like
Oh,
a British Blu-ray. That's all right. I
uh,
got a region free player. Cooking price wise, I'm writing that down.
cooking price-wise. I just think it's going to be super fun and super camp, isn't it?
Yes. That's awesome.
It's not something I would have imagined him doing, but there you go.
Well, 'cause he was such a like an not an entrepreneur, but just like what's the word when you know all sorts of stuff? You're a Renaissance man because he loved art and he collected
Mm.
art and did all these museum tours and did art lectures and then cooked and wrote a cookbook. Like he did everything.
Oh, so
Uh,
okay, so cookbook and then you've got this. So
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
that's the cookbook that kind of goes with this then. Maybe.
exactly. I think that's even the no. I was his book is a treasure of great recipes. I think. Um,
Okay.
but yeah. Oh my God, I need to get it now. Cool.
I'm still shocked that I introduced you to something. No, it's like if ever I need to know something, I'm sure I was. Did Josh, what's this film where it's got this guy that does this thing? And Josh was like, oh, it's this one. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
how did you get that from what I gave you?
yeah. It's, I can't remember what it was, but it was like you gave me,
It was like the worst description of something happening in a film, and he knew what I was
oh,
talking
it's
about.
Theater of Blood. And it's like,
I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was bonkers. I have actually seen that one though. I saw that one last year at in Great
oh, that was
Yarmouth.
good.
Again, great back to Great Yarmouth. They have a horror kind of festival, like day festival, and it's like films from like I think it's like I don't know 50 years previously. So
Nice, nice, nice.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what are what are you working on anything right now, or you just
I'm
said
not
things are slowing down?
really. No, I'm not. I've got that vampire script that I've finished, which I would really like to make this year, but I just need to get myself organized. No,
The
but I'm
jewel
off
one,
to I'm going to go off
the
to Horror
diamond
on
one.
Sea next week. Not next week. In 2 weekends, I'm going off to Horror on Sea. So by the time this one actually comes out, that will be done. And then there's
Woo!
Romford Festival as well, which is then end of February, beginning of March. So I'll probably pop along to that. So I usually go along to these festivals and then I pick up work. So
Oh, nice, cool.
yeah. So I wasn't going to go to Horror on Sea this year, but my circumstances have changed. So I decided to get out of London for a few, or get to London for a few days.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any films in the festival this year?
I do. I've got two. There's
15.
yeah, there's Horoscopes 3, which I actually wrote and directed a piece in, and I was in it. And there's Video Shop Tales of Terror 2.
Is
Um,
that the dragon one?
it's not Dragon. Dragon was in last year's. This is Hunger.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Did I
cool.
send it to
Fantastic.
you? Did you watch it?
I, I never saw it. No,
I
you
haven't
sent me
sent
the
you a link.
script.
I'll send you my secret YouTube link afterwards.
Oh, please. You sent me the script, and I was super excited because
Ah, yes.
yeah,
That was the weirdest one because I always say like never again to a short film because I find them very hard to write because I like to like develop my characters and like to know where they're
sure.
coming from and what's going on. I like them to have like an arc and a story. And with a short film, you don't always get to do that. But I try and give mine a little kind of arc somehow.
Yeah, yeah,
Usually it
yeah.
takes me ages to come up with an idea, but that one was really quick. I was like, and I think I'd actually written it just before I came, or just know when I got back from Texas because that's when I went to do the other film and I wrote it when I was like holed up because I had a few days off and they put me in an Airbnb by the beach, but it was raining really hard, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I ended
Oh, so you just wrote?
yeah, well, I went and got myself a bottle of Prosecco and I made a script.
Hey, hey,
I always have a bottle of Prosecco when I'm writing a script. I feel
you
like I'm
really
funny, I'm funnier.
you're just more creative.
There's my
It's like,
spelling though afterwards when you're trying to read it, you're like, what do I mean
the
there?
hell is this?
I did that when I was writing one of the murder mysteries with my friend. No, it wasn't murder mystery. No, it was a TV series actually we were writing. And we took like 3 episodes each. We plotted them out together, and then we took 3 episodes, and we'd like she'd be reading mine back, and she's like, "Well, it's all very good up until like the last third, and then I don't really know what you're trying to say."
It's like it's a prosecco. The
Yeah,
prosecco
it's like
got
my typing's all over the place, and I have to go in and fix it.
yeah. So there's editing. That's why there's editing.
Exactly, exactly. So, what's your next film? We kind of got there, and then we didn't. We trailed off.
Oh, so Mantipus is hopefully in the next month or so will be out on Prime, and I want to do a Blu-ray for that one because the quality on the because we shot on film just looks so rich,
I'm
and
so excited.
anything other than Blu-ray, you can't really get that quality, the film grain. Um, Doing that, and then always have our 8 films that waiting on the shelf.
I
And
can't
I
even
have
remember what we did. We had
yeah.
there
What do you remember? You try and remember because I know what they are.
was,
You try
okay,
and remember
so
what they
there
were.
was the one with the mummy,
Okay, okay,
which I
yes,
really enjoyed because I dressed like Indiana Jones and it was great.
Indiana Jane. Yes,
Indiana Jane. So there was that one. There
so
was
there's one.
chicken something, duck, chicken duck to something. What was it?
Yes, okay, uh-huh.
Moby Duck.
Moby Duck. Well, I was
Moby
hoping
Duck,
for it.
which was again super fun. And it's lovely shooting in Texas because it's warm. And then everyone else was like, let's go inside and put the aircon on. And I'm outside just going, damn me.
As soon as it was like okay and cut, it's like all right, I'm going outside, and you're just. I remember Jules and I opening. Where is she? And you're just
Yeah,
like
because we
laying
don't
on the.
have sun here. It's nice to get. Well, we didn't have a very good summer last year, actually, at all. And I know, like, I was kind of moving around, moving in the summer, and it was like, but we didn't have a lot of beach time. I think we went and had one barbecue at the beach, and that was it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, not here in Texas.
No, I know.
Apparently, it's going to get very cold next week here in Texas, so
Is
we're
it?
all
Well, we've
excited.
had snow here in a lot of places today, but it didn't
Good
snow
grief.
here. It snowed at my friend's house this morning. Like he sent a picture from his window of snow, and I was like, I live 5 minutes away, and I've got no snow. Very odd.
Oh, that British weather.
So what else did we do?
So you got Mummy, the Moby Duck. You got what? Five more. Mantipus.
Yes. You just told me you knew them all.
I do know them all. I'm just trying to jog
Um,
your memory. I'm trying to
give
help
me,
you a little
give me clues.
bit.
There was the one where I had the picture of Hugh Hefner. Is that Moby Duck? Was that Moby Duck?
That was Moby Duck and another one
Hmm.
had a really cool song.
A song.
Yes, that we were listening to.
No.
Two words.
What was it?
2 words. First letter of the first word is an S. Snail.
Snailmen.
Yes.
Snailmen. Yeah, that was
Snail
super fun.
man.
Yeah, I love that
Remember
one
we had
too.
this Snail man.
Yes. God, my laptop's driving me around the bend today. It's like ding, ding, ding. It never dings, and now I'm doing a podcast, and it's like
Dinging. It's I got the
I don't
power
know
of
how
the
you turn off the dings.
There's a way in the settings you
I'm
can.
sure there is a way. I'm not really a technological person. I've amazed myself that I've managed not only to record a podcast, but to actually edit them myself and then submit them and actually make them live. I felt like a technical genius the other day.
A true
And this was
Renaissance
such a
woman.
last minute decision. I was like, do you know what? Well, I never used to really listen to podcasts either. And I started listening to one. It was the Girls of the Playboy Mansion, so Girls Next Level. And they were super
Oh,
interesting. And they basically go through each episode just chatting. And then they have guests from over the years that have been there. And I was like, well, that'd be cool to do something with like horror guests, but like not
yeah.
just film. It could be like anything in the world of horror or spooky or whatever. So that's
Yes,
where it
yes.
came from. And so it was only at the end of last year. And I was like, right. And I think maybe it was even like the last couple of weeks of I don't know when I emailed you. I emailed you when I emailed like my first batch of people.
I think it was
And
like New Year. It was like Happy New Year.
yeah, like, do you want to go on a podcast? And then it was like, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got one live and they go out every Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning.
How fun. Cool. You should maybe do one where you're watching your own films and like doing a
I
con
don't know
live.
what the legality is in that. Like, I suppose I could do it watching mine, which I
Keep
know that
watching
well.
yours. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like I could do like, I don't know, I could do Dragon actually. And
See?
maybe get Judy on. I don't know if she'd come on though. She'd be like, podcast.
What is that?
What is this podcast?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear, I mean, commentaries with you, and it's like, oh, we did this, and that day, it was raining, and it's just, I mean,
Yeah.
I would. I'm just saying, as a fan
Yeah, I could
myself.
do that. We did have a day where we're filming in the forest and it was like beautiful sunshine and then you get in the car and then they go to the next like location and then it
Sure.
was raining because I think we had a couple of weeks in between filming just because of people's schedules and
Yeah, yeah.
it was a completely different location and it was like, oh, and then the car is in the rain, but it kind of worked for the tone because that's when the movie started getting a little bit darker, so the rain
Ah.
kind of worked.
So what happened to the mannequin? Weren't you a mannequin, and you were going to be like a?
Yes.
Did that come out, or is that?
um I think there's an edit, but it needs some more work.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so it needs like some sound stuff and some grading. So it's yeah, I'm not in charge of like the production of that one or anything. I was just
Oh, I thought you were like producing it or
no,
something.
no,
Oh,
no,
no, no.
no. That's where I met the Hex girls actually on the set, which we talked about in our episode. But no, I just ended up being the chef on site.
Oh.
So which was fun, cooking in a farmhouse kitchen. There were like 9 cats in there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was
Mannequin.
an
I could have
experience.
sworn you were producing that one, but my bad, my
No,
mistake.
I didn't. No, not that one. I think the last one I produced was Bad Moon Rising. That was long, like feature film. That was a long time ago. So I haven't
Yes,
got that
yes,
one.
yes.
Blood and Glitter, hopefully up next.
We need to bring blood and glitter black,
Yeah,
blood, glitter, black back.
back.
Anyway,
I just
blood
need
and glitter
I just
back
need
for the next time.
locations and there's a lot more going on in this one. So it needs some big locations and there's a lot of people.
Yes,
So I'll get there. It'll
but you're
happen.
happy with it. You're happy with the script because you've been
I'm
working on
happy
that.
with it, but the character I actually thought I'd play, I'm now thinking I'm getting a bit old for, so maybe I'll switch it up and have somebody else play it, and then I can maybe direct it if I play a smaller character.
You got to be in it.
I'll
Yeah,
be in it, but maybe not as the character I was going to be. We'll see.
gotcha. You could always make the character older.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but
You're
vampires
just
don't age, so
exactly,
that's
exactly.
true. That's true. So what
Have
were
you
the other
seen?
ones? Mailman, Mantipus, Moby Dark, The Mummy. Is it called The Mummy?
That's, that's four, and we did what, eight?
8. Yeah.
Oh, one of them was the Showgirls one, where you were with the monsters in the basement. Oh yes,
Um,
okay, that one. And then the one where you were the radio host.
yes.
Yes,
That's
and
7 or 6.
that's six.
6. I can't. I'm
And
using my fingers and I'm still counting wrong.
um,
I
which one are we missing?
don't know. We're missing 2 because we did 8. I forgot about the radio host one. I've got a nice picture of that because I had really cool makeup. She was like a little bit of a goth look.
Yes, yes, yes. The Ghosts
Yeah.
channel.
I mean, it's super fun. But so what we do is we've basically shot scenes that I'm in, because obviously I'm not in Texas, so we've got to get them all in one, and then Josh will shoot around and kind of finish the movies.
Yes, I'm just worried that I age. Like if I do, like it'll cut to me because all your stuff is done. It's like cutting from me in the stuff we shot to
We
like the
have to
scene.
shoot you next, and then when you
Right.
slot other people in, it kind of works.
Oh yeah, but planning for that was honestly such a in a cool way. It was a challenge. It was like, okay, how are we gonna do? It was
Yeah,
originally planning for ten movies one week,
yeah,
and it's like, okay, if we're gonna shoot on this scene, this set for this movie, okay, then we can revamp it for this
yeah,
next movie, and then revamp it and paint it a different color for this next movie. Oh, is that was almost more.
yeah. It was a lot when there's such a small team, but I mean, we got eight. 8 out of 10 wasn't
You got
bad.
eight, yeah.
And so Josh has his own studio called Gooey Studios.
Oh, Bray Studio.
No, it's Gooey Films, but it's
Yes,
Bray Studios, but not spelled in the Hammer Bray way. It's
Brey
yes.
is how we spell it.
So yes, I mean it's a great space. It's a big studio, and you're walking down corridors, and it's full of props, and all of Josh's movie posters are on the walls, and all kinds of other posters are on the walls from other movies, and it's like being in a museum a little bit because you want to look at everything, and then you're like, oh, what's this prop and what's in this box? It's super exciting.
Well, thanks. Well, you were one of the first people we brought in. I mean, that's not local. Like you were the first real actress to join us at Bray Studios. So that was
Very,
cool.
very exciting. I loved it. It's
Yeah.
always fun coming out to Texas.
Oh, yes. Good old Texas.
Yeah, and the first time we shot and we went to the beach and we were like, so obviously in England, if anyone else is in England, we don't have pelicans apart from in St. James's Park. But you don't walk to the beach and you see a pelican. So we were shooting cowgirls versus pterodactyls, and I have to lasso this pterodactyl on the beach. But you look up and pelicans flying look like pterodactyls in the distance, which was just perfect. But I was wearing this Victorian costume. So it was all black, which obviously soaks in the heat. It was a corset. It was this big woolen skirt and a shirt and a hat. I was like, I'm so hot. And they're like, your character's stumbling around because she's in the desert. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to act this.
Oh, and remember, it was so freaking windy that day. It was
Oh
just
yeah.
like,
So my lipstick had all of the sand just stuck to the
yes.
lipstick. And then when I was
Yes.
like,
I always forget that we shot that at the same time as Saturnalia.
yeah.
Like you
And
just got in
then
the car and switched into your bikini.
yeah. Oh no, I got in the seat, and so I had these like dancers cat suits, and I'd
Yes.
actually bought them for Bad Moon Rising for this silly little standalone scene, which was like an interview for a magazine, and
Oh yeah, that's right.
it was Space Monsters magazine, and I said, well, we'll get the girls to dress as space monsters. It's just something fun and silly, and I had the costumes from that, so I brought them out. And then I got in the sea, but obviously I hadn't tested them what they're like when they're wet. So I come emerging from the sea and it's just see-through.
Completely see through. Not
Completely
that we
see
were
through.
complaining, but
I know. So in the edit, Josh has put these little swirly, like swirly things over my nipples.
well,
But
even my CGI, there's little CGI in Saturnalia, but I had to ask him because the original footage was way too see through. I was like, "There's no way this is gonna." I was like, and he
well, you
said, "If
say that,
ever
but I feel like my boobs are in the film anyway.
they are, but they were much more present." I was like, "Can you just like cover these up just a little bit,
Oh,
just
okay.
enough?" Because they was it
Oh.
was a lot. I was like, "There's no way we're gonna get a PG-13 rating."
No, I thought I was topless in a bit of the film.
But like
Or is it covered? I don't know.
you're kind of covered. Yeah, there's little
Ah.
glimpses. Like, oh, hey.
Oh.
Um, yeah, Saturnalia is really fun. I'm really proud of that movie.
It
And
is
you're
really fun.
how
What gave you the idea?
I'd always wanted to do a story about like pictures coming to life.
Mm.
Like
And the
and
artwork's great.
yes, Robin Grenville Evans. He's a comic book artist who, funny enough, I also met at the House of the Gorgon
How
premiere.
did
And
you?
he does his own comic book artist, and he's wonderful. He totally got what we were going for, and he can capture. Um, he does a lot of like going to weddings and stuff, and just like, hey, I'll just draw you real
Wow.
quick, and he captures someone's personality so well in drawings.
Hmm.
Um, But I was going to say your performance in Saturnalia, not to toot your own horn, but it's like how you managed to convey so much emotion just without any. I always forget you have no words.
No,
You're
no
just
dialogue. Because comic books have like speech bubbles, don't they? So I just had to kind of go, and then the speech bubble
yeah.
had my. And remember at one point you were like, well, maybe we'll get you to mouth the words. And I was like, but then I've got to learn the lines.
Then we have to write the script. It's like no, just poop.
Just boop and then pop, and then like it will happen. But yeah, again, really fun because it's not the kind of film you get to make all the time. You don't,
Yes.
you don't often get to like play a cave girl on a Texan beach, and you
Yeah.
don't get to often lasso a pterodactyl on a beach. So like both the films
Exactly.
were like great. And I love, but
Yeah.
for me, even the bits in the garage were like, we've made it. It looks so good. And we were just like, we're just in the garage.
In the garage. Well, it's
And then
funny
we'd go
that
inside the house and like Josh's mom had made us like the best lunches and like
yes,
I was very healthy then. I was getting up because I was still on like UK time on my brain. I was getting up and I was in the hotel gym at like 5 a.m.
I
Like,
know.
yeah, now I struggle to. I suppose it's warm there, so now I'm struggling to get to the gym early in the morning. I did go today
Oh, good.
for the
But
first time this year. Yeah.
I was thinking you would like sleep in. It's like, oh, you can catch up on time. It's like, I've been up since 5. It's like, what? I've been up
No.
since 5. I've been at the gym. I've gone. It's like, oh my God.
Well, I even thought that last time I came to Texas, I was like, these guys are wanting naps and things. And I'm like, guys, I'm like 10 years older than you, and I'm like from another time zone. And he's like,
Yes.
these guys like, just need a little nap.
Please, we're exhausted.
I'm like,
I'm
no,
trying to
work
think
harder.
what the other one was. Mummy Moby Duck, Mantpa Snowman, Showgirls, radio host. We're missing one of them,
We
but
are. I don't know which one though.
either. Alas,
Maybe the
alas.
costumes, but yeah, I mean, we were like mixing and matching costumes and like trying to remember
Yes,
which ones we were supposed to be wearing, and
continuity was all over the place, but
yeah,
somehow we got them done.
yeah. And then there was a vintage Beetle, and he was like, "Can you drive
Oh
stick shift?"
yes,
And I was like, "Well, yeah, I can, but like, I don't know how to drive a car with a choke. This is like super old. Like, we pretty much mostly have stick in the UK. Like, we have automatic, but most people probably drive stick.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, that's
I've never owned an automatic car. I've always had a stick because I feel like I
really.
get bored. Yeah, like it gives me something to do. Like I have to change gear, and it keeps it interesting when I'm driving. Like, you know. And then
To
my
mind
mum can only drive an automatic, so she doesn't even drive at all now. Her husband drives. But
uh,
when I used to borrow her car over, and I'm like, and then I'd get in mine and I'd start stalling because I've forgotten how to drive.
oh my God. Yeah,
Mm.
that was Ziggy the Bug with
Ziggy the Bug, who has his own Instagram page.
his
So
own Instagram. Yeah,
he
follow his
does. So
adventures.
follow Ziggy the Bug if you like your
Bug,
vintage cars.
Aro Hinojosa. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
And there's a
Um,
picture, and I look like I'm really angry with you in the car.
that's one of my favorite pictures of the whole thing, and
That's like
I
my
even look kind of tired too. I'm like
yeah,
looking
my
at you.
resting bitch face was on point.
Is that one? There's another picture that I really like. I can't from that week. My favorite from the Saturnalia one, the first time you came was you're like doing the bunny ears behind me. We're at the beach. You're behind.
As I'm misbehaving. We've got those pictures on. I have never posted them, and I don't know where they are. I have to dig them out. They're probably on my old computer, so they're probably on the disk. But the ones we took in the bedroom with all the old posters,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, I don't know where they are though.
I posted a few of those. Um,
Did you post them?
I
Yeah, they
think
must be
at some
somewhere.
point I did because it was like the 10th anniversary of Gooey Films or something, and it
Yeah,
was
so we did. We kind of, I think we copied a Valerie Leon picture, but with your,
yes, we did.
yeah,
She's on the set of Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, and she's surrounded by all her Hammer posters.
yeah.
Uh, those came out well, I think. The ones we took.
Yeah, no, they did. I mean, hers were
Yeah,
also very good.
of course. I mean, absolutely.
Definitely. So what have you got on for the rest of your Sunday?
Well, the rest of the Sunday, I've actually been going through. I found a way finally to start converting my old VHS tapes to digital.
Okay.
So it's funny you bring up my old movies. I've been going through, I just have mountains and mountains of tapes of just hours of me running around the backyard with my camera. And it's funny how Saturnalia, nothing's changed. I'm still running around the backyard with my camera. Um, but converting those to digital so I can actually look at them, and maybe I'll cut the highlights together for a. But I finally found out how to do it. I've been trying to figure out a good way to get good quality, and I finally
You have to
cracked the
buy
code.
like a special machine.
It's this. You put the VHS in and you convert it to DVD, and then I have a program that converts the DVD to the computer. So it's like a
Oh,
step-by-step
okay.
process. But
It
it's working pretty well.
sounds very technical to me.
It's a little technical, but hey, you figured out how to film and record and
I
edit a
did.
podcast.
Well, do you know what I've done as well? I've tethered my phone. So the camera is actually my phone, which is tethered to my laptop. So that's why
Oh,
I keep looking over here because you're actually over here, but my camera's there. Only because
gotcha.
I'm too lazy to get my other ring light out, which is on a smaller tripod. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it like this. Um, but yeah, I've worked that out. And yeah, because I just think the quality is a bit better than like what my webcam would be.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you figured that out. You got this.
I know. It's fun though. I'm loving being a podcaster. I'm enjoying it. It's interesting talking to all of the different guests and kind of finding out people's inspirations and,
Yeah.
what they do.
Excellent. Well, I wish you much success.
Thank
10,000
you.
episodes.
Well, I think this is number 5.
Woo!
So you will be going out in 4 more weeks' time.
Lucky number 5.
Lucky
Woo!
number 5. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you then. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Danny. Delightful to talk to you.